7 league games unbeaten and 17 points from the last 21 has transformed Hibs' season and catapulted Lee Johnson's side into 4th place in the league, re-energised our hunt for European football and left Hibs just 5 points behind Hearts in 3rd. But all that will now be put to the test with an old firm double-header, a trip to Celtic Park coming up a week on Saturday. But tonight it's Rangers who come to Leith themselves on a 7-game league winning run and intent on bursting the Hibs bubble that has seen Lee Johnson's side score 19, concede just 7 in the last 7 games, including another 4 to dispatch Livingston last weekend.
Though again, Livingston long ball forward trying to catch Hibs out. Newbley twists and turns and he scored. How on earth he got the shot away from there? Early on, Johan's through, flag stays down, here's a chance. Early Johan equalises. I'm pretty sure that one will be checked by VAR. Boys. Back for Hoffy. Johan, he's managed to sclaff it into the net. We'll take it. Johan, what can he do? Threads it through, it's a lovely ball. Chance here for Cadden, it's through edge of the area. Can he square it back to Johan? Oh, it's an OG. Well, Chris Cadden got it in the back of the net. I don't think it was how he intended to do it. Nisbet, chance. Good block, chance here again, Hibs get a 4th. No they don't, flags up for offside on the far side.
Hello and welcome to Hibs TV for this evening's cinch Premiership match against Rangers. 7:45pm kickoff here at Easter Road, and to help us preview this one I'm delighted to be joined by Hibs women's captain Joelle Murray and Gavin Rittoo, club journalist. Obviously this week, or the last couple of weeks, has been an incredibly difficult one for everyone at Hibernian FC following the passing of our executive chairman Ronald J. Gordon, and we'll come onto him and the impact, the great impact that he's made for this football club a little bit later on in the show. But obviously, Joelle, the lads had to deal with all of that last week, then go to Livingston, listen to the tributes, the minute's silence, but then to go and put that performance in was magnificent, wasn't it?
Yeah, it certainly was, Adam. I think when you take everything into consideration, kind of Ron's passing and all things off the pitch, the performance at the weekend was incredible for the boys to kind of appreciate that, but kind of put it aside and go and put in the performance that they did was supreme.
Yeah, and Gav, obviously Livingston's a really difficult place to go, isn't it? The pitch as well gives Livy that extra edge to go 1-0 down and then to respond the way that we did. It shows a different side to these players and this team.
Yeah, I think it showed kind of the character that this team has got to come from behind, and I think it was really Ellie Ewan to kind of turn the game on its head with those 2 quick goals before half time, and it really lifted the spirits. But I think maybe earlier in the season you might have seen a bit more panic from the players when we went a goal down, but at Livingston we didn't really see that panic. The lads stayed calm and they got what they deserved, a really good 4-1 victory.
Yeah, and touching on Ellie Ewan there, Gav, Lee said after the game that there's still so much work to do with him, but he scored 5 goals in 5 games and he's in magnificent form.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Livingston game was really interesting because, to be honest, I think Ellie would admit that first kind of 20 minutes he probably wasn't at it. He got the ball a lot, he got tackled a lot, but I think with him he's got so much confidence that he'll keep taking players on and he'll keep creating chances for himself. And once he got that first goal, he really kicked on from there, and he was he was a standout performer, got his 2 goals, got an assist for Cads in the second half as well, and I think, as the gaffer says, he's still got levels to go to.
And I guess, Joelle, you're focused more on the other end in terms of looking at our shape defensively, but since Jimmy Jago and CJ Riley have been paired together in the kind of deeper defensive midfield role, we've looked so much secure at the back, haven't we?
We certainly have. I've been impressed by both of them since coming in. Obviously, Jimmy Jago was in there with Joe before CJ was put in to partner him, but the two complement each other extremely well. Their attributes, they're physically hard working. Looking at Jimmy Jago, you wouldn't naturally think that, but he puts himself about, and like I said, I think they complement each other very, very well. They cover in the channels when the fullbacks are attacking up the pitch, and they not only break down play, but they play the ball forward very, very positively. And I think I think it was the third or the fourth goal on at the weekend there was created by Jimmy Jago actually winning an aerial duel, and then we went up the pitch to score the goal.
Yeah, we spoke a lot about the character, the mentality of this team, and players coming to the fore. It's actually easy to forget, isn't it, the players that are missing too. Carl McGuinness, Jake Doyle-Hayes, Aidan McGeady, who was in magnificent form before his injury, Martin Boyle, and then we've just got McCullough obviously back, Kevin Nisbet back as well. The depth in the squad, imagine how good we'd be, Joelle, if everyone was fit.
Yeah, it's unbelievable when you think of it that way, because the strength and depth in the squad is fantastic, and when you think of all the players that are currently out injured, I think arguably starting 11 players, so it's fantastic to see that the players who've stepped into the void have kind of really stepped up and will provide competition for those players coming back from injury.
Yeah, they absolutely will. But the mood in the camp is very positive at the moment. Ahead of this game, I spoke to our first team coach, David Gray, who echoed how positive the lads have been at the moment. Dave, obviously the games are coming thick and fast at the moment, but how big was that win and the performance against Livingston after what was a really difficult couple of weeks for everyone at the club?
Yeah, I think it was a massive 3 points. We knew what was at stake. We knew that if Livingston had won the game, they'd go above us in the league. So that was all the motivation we needed. And as you say, it's been a difficult time for everyone involved at the football club. And to go and put a performance in like that, and to show the character we showed going a goal down as well, and to come back from there at a real difficult venue, with the surface and everything else that comes with that, and the challenges we've faced there previously, I thought the lads handled it really, really well. And I thought we were fully deserving of the victory and the 3 points.
Yeah, you mentioned character there, and mentality is a big one as well, because going to Livingston is a really difficult place, especially going 1-0 down. And then when you take in the emotion surrounding the game too, that character and mentality and steeliness that this group's got really shone there, didn't it? Absolutely.
As I said there, it's a difficult time anyway for the football club, and our thoughts are with Ron's family, and we know it's a real difficult time. But to put that all together, and then, as you say, going to Livingston at any time is very difficult. And I thought we dealt with that really, really well. I mean, it's a big difference from when we went there early on in the season. I thought, in terms of just the way we fought and the way we scrapped for every ball, and the way we finished the game was really pleasing.
Yeah. How confident is this group right now?
Yeah, I think results show you and performances show you that we're in a real good place at the moment. There's competition for places, players coming back, players getting up to speed. And I think that's clear for everyone to see, and we're all pulling in the same direction. As I say, I think that's 7 unbeaten, and we look forward to Wednesday night now and going to Easter Road under the lights in a packed atmosphere, and hopefully we can use that to our advantage.
Yeah, Wednesday night will be another quite emotional affair, I'd imagine, with the tributes to Ron Gordon. Do you think again that could impact the players and have an effect on the game?
No, I think we need to use it to our advantage. I know it will be an emotional time, especially before the game. I'm sure we'll all feel it. It's a difficult time, as I've mentioned previously, but we need to use that to start the game as well as we can. We expect the atmosphere to be really good, like it always is, especially at big games under the lights at Easter Road. And we need to use that to advantage, start on the front foot and really take the game towards Rangers and show what we can do.
Yeah, we obviously know their quality, but what do you expect from them?
Yeah, well, they're obviously a very good side. They are where they are in the league, and for a reason. They've got good players, but we've also shown that at the top of our game we're more than a match for anyone. So we take the confidence from the run of results we're on, the performances we're putting in, and take that into the game on Wednesday night. Yeah, and obviously we played Rangers just after the World Cup break, and I think a lot of Hibs fans from that match would have seen almost a
different kind of game plan where we went toe-to-toe with them at Ibrox. Is that something we could see again?
Yeah, I think we always want to go toe-to-toe with these teams. I think it's about trying to do how can we hurt them as much as we can. We know the quality they've got, and we work on how to stop that. But I think we're a different team from them as well. I think we've improved. We're improving all the time, and I think that's clear for everyone to see. And we'll go into the game in as good a place as we can be, really.
Yeah, just finally, what impact can the supporters make in this one?
Huge. I think you've seen that already this season, and throughout my whole time at the football club. When they really get behind us, especially at home, it's a real great place to play, and it's a fantastic. As a player, you really thrive off it, and hopefully it can make it as intimidating as possible for opponents as well, and we can use that to our advantage. But I fully expect them to be right behind us as they have been all season. As I say, we're in a good place at the moment, and hopefully we can take that into Wednesday.
Absolutely, Dave. Thank you for speaking to us.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
Let's have a look at the league table then. Hibs obviously in 4th place, 5 points behind Hearts in 3rd, but 2 points above Aberdeen, who are in 5th. Joelle, it's looking a lot more positive, isn't it, than a couple of months ago?
Yeah, it certainly is. A lot more positive, Adam, and I think you can see now we've got a bit of consistency in our performances, both home and away. Our home form is magnificent. I think we've obtained 2 clean sheets in the last 2 home league games here, and I think only conceded 2 in the last 5 games. So I think that's helped propel us up the league, and definitely are looking a lot more positive.
Yeah, it's been since the January transfer window, hasn't it, Gav? And there seems to be a switch in the mood around the place as well, don't you think?
Yeah, I think probably that game against Aberdeen, the 6-0 here at Easter Road, probably did wonders for the confidence of the lads, the staff. It really lifted everybody at the club, and I think from then we've really kicked on. Obviously the January transfer window had an impact as well. There's a few outgoings and a few really key ingoings that we spoke about. I think you spoke about before, Joelle, Jimmy Jego, CJ Egan, Riley have made a massive difference to the team, and I think the mood at the moment at HTC and at Hibs on the pitch is very much a positive one, and momentum certainly building in the right direction. Looking at the league table there, I think it's, you mentioned it earlier, 17 points in the last 21 available. It's a great record, and hopefully we can continue that tonight.
Yeah, we come into this one obviously in good form, Joelle, like we were at the start of the season when Rangers came here. Obviously the away game, we saw a slightly different approach in terms of being slightly more defensively minded but electric on the counter-attack. What do you think we'll see from Lee Johnson today?
I'd like to think a little bit of both. Obviously you build any kind of points on a strong defensive foundation, so we need to kind of ensure that we've got that tonight, but also go out and attack, because we've seen, especially the game at Ibrox and here earlier on in the season, when we attack Rangers or any team attack Rangers and don't give them that respect that a lot of teams often do, you get a lot of success. So hopefully, as I say, we can get the balance between being defensively sound but also being creative and very strong in the attack and final third.
Absolutely, and Dave was clear there, we're not naive to the fact about how good Rangers are either, Gav. They've been in really good league form, haven't they, especially under Michael Beale?
Yeah, I think since Michael Beale came in, I think his first game was actually against us at Ibrox, and I think they've won their last 7 in the league, so they'll come into this one full of confidence. I think they were obviously beaten by Celtic in the Viaplay Cup, and they got a reaction from that at the weekend against Kilmarnock, and I think previously this has been quite a happy hunting ground for Rangers, so I think in terms of Hibs, we'll want to get a win here to do it for the fans and really continue the momentum that we built over the last few weeks, because I think the fans definitely deserve it and the players deserve it themselves because they've been brilliant.
They absolutely do. We're going to go to a quick break now, but make sure you stay with us because Gav earlier this week spoke to Chris Cadden, and you'll be catching up with him right here on Hibs TV.
Shop without online trackers following your every step. Get NordVPN now and avoid online trackers. NordVPN, cybersecurity built for every day.
just rolls it forward. Willie Collum pointing to the penalty spot. And the assistant referee is coming across. Strides up and scores. Lovely ball, Ellie Joelle inside the Rangers area. What can the Frenchman do? Cuts across the net, tips in, the equaliser! That's a great finish. Header bulleted into the back of the net by Lawrence. Hibs caught out over on the far side, Kevin. And again, Deutsch cuts it down from Campbell, edge of the area. Yeah! From Josh Campbell! Left-footed from the edge of the penalty area. Beats Sean McLaughlin, all ends up. And 2 minutes into stoppage time, Hibs are back at level terms.
Welcome back here on Hibs TV as we continue to build up to tonight's game. 7:45 p.m. kickoff at Easter Road as Hibs take on Rangers. Last time Rangers came here, Josh Campbell scored a magnificent strike right at the death to get a point. Well, we spoke to Chris Cadden ahead of this one to see whether we can go one step further this time.
Cads, it's a quick turnaround. Rangers up next on Wednesday. How much are the lads looking forward to that?
Yeah, looking forward to it. I think we're on a good run just now, so just got to use the momentum. Obviously know what we've done the sort of last few weeks is not going to give us anything on Wednesday, so we've got to go in with the sort of same focus, same application and go again. But now we're in a good place, so we've just got to try and kick on.
Yeah, imagine the result at Livingston on Saturday will give the lads a lot of confidence going into this one. Yeah,
I mean, Livy's a tough place to go. It's notorious in sort of Scottish League. It's one of the hardest away grounds to go to, and I thought performance done really well, and especially coming for a goal down. Sort of that belief didn't really change the way we played. Sort of kept doing what we're doing, and it worked out in the end. But yeah, I mean, I sort of got to take confidence from it, and yeah.
That's 7 games now in the league, unbeaten. How confident is this group of players right now?
Yeah, we're in a good place. I think we're enjoying the football just now. I think it's a real sort of tight group, sort of a good mix between experienced boys and young boys coming through as well. So the squad's in a really good place as well. So hopefully a few more to come back for injury as well. With Nizzy and Big Miko getting some more games as well, and obviously Joe to come back. So we're in a good place. We've just got to continue. Yeah,
looking ahead to Wednesday then, under the lights against Rangers, it'll be a massive occasion. What do you expect from the night?
Yeah, it'll be a good game. Obviously under lights, Easter Road, it'll be a great atmosphere, always is. And yeah, we've just got to sort of go in with the same sort of focus, same application we've done all the time. And yeah, I know the fans and stuff will be right behind us, so we've got to give them something to cheer about, go off our seats about, and to go and to kick on and sort of take confidence from the run we've been on, and sort of use that for the game.
Yeah, just finally, how much are you enjoying your football at Hibs, playing obviously in the right back position and getting further forward as well?
Yeah, it's been good. I think CJ and Jimmy being there has given me a bit more license to go forward as well. So enjoying football. It's obviously it's good when you're winning games and things like that. So I'm enjoying it. As I say, I love playing here. I love being at Hibs as well. So long may it continue.
Appreciate your time. Good luck, Cards.
Cheers.
Gav, you spoke to Chris Cadden just then. Obviously he'll be claiming or trying to claim the goal against Livingston, I'm sure, but he's another player that's kind of come into his own and almost started to replicate the form that he had towards the end of last season too.
Yeah, definitely. I think he mentioned it in that interview there about he's being able to get a bit further forward, having CJ and Jago in the middle, and I think when Hendo's been playing out on that kind of right wing, you know, Henderson, he's kind of traditionally, he normally plays more central, so he likes to drift inside, so he's kind of given Cadden that license to roam up on that right hand side, and you saw that for the goal against Livingston. He got up the pitch, Ewan played a great ball to him, and it looked as though he was trying to square it for Ewan, and it's taken a deflection in, but he went off celebrating, trying to claim it. So if I was him, I'd definitely be trying to claim it. But yeah, he was obviously our player of the year last year as well, so it's great to have him back and reaching his best form again.
Yeah, without a doubt. And Joelle, there's no doubt about how difficult tonight's game is going to be, but if Hibs were to get a positive result, where do you think the game could be won or lost?
Yeah, there's no denying that Rangers possess a lot of quality. I think for me, if we can try and nullify them having too much time and space in the wide areas, and try and really stop Tavernier and Barisic putting those deadly balls into the box, because they do have a very good ability to kind of put balls into the box, whether that be from open play or set pieces. So I think if we can deny them that time and space out on the wide areas, then certainly that will go a long way to helping us be successful tonight.
Yeah, absolutely will. And tonight's game is the first one following, or first home game I should say, following the passing of our late executive chairman Ronald J. Gordon, who sadly lost his battle with cancer. There's been tributes that have been flying around Easter Road from supporters through the online book of condolence, or flowers being delivered to Easter Road. There's also been tributes at the Livingston game, like we touched upon earlier, and a memorial service. Gav, obviously it's been a really difficult time for everyone at the football club over the last 2 weeks, like we've mentioned before. Just give us a flavour of what it's been like to be around the place.
Yeah, it's obviously been a very difficult time. I think you've seen all the tributes kind of flying in, and they kind of show how much Ron meant to so many people in the Scottish football family and further afield, and to everyone here at Hibs. Everybody absolutely loved him. He was one of these people that whenever you spoke to him, he would speak to anyone, he would treat everyone exactly the same, and he always spoke with such positivity, enthusiasm, and when you came out of a conversation with him, you always had so much energy and kind of motivation, and yeah, everyone absolutely loved him, loves him, and yeah, he'll be dearly missed.
Yeah, he absolutely never forgot anyone's name, and completely gave everyone the time of day, didn't he, Joelle? I know you had a close relationship with him as well, and you're at the memorial service like all the staff and players were yesterday. What was the memorial service like?
It was tough. It was very powerful, very emotional, but extremely fitting. A man who lit up every room he walked into, his enthusiasm, his passion, and like Gavin said, a people person. No matter how busy he was, he always took the time to ask you questions and, more importantly, listen. So yeah, yesterday was a very tough, emotional day for everyone involved.
Yeah, and it's worth mentioning what a great legacy that Ron has left. He never saw himself as the owner of the football club. He was more the steward of the football club, but you look around Easter Road and you see the big screens, the redevelopment and the hospitality suites, the fact that the player budget has doubled since he came in, making the women's team professional. He's really started to create something in this football club, and it's been a real shining light for him.
Absolutely, and his legacy will be everlasting. The impact he's had since coming into the club has been unbelievable, both from a men's perspective and a women's perspective. For so many before Ron, it was always just words, but Ron made sure he came in and he talked and he acted, and for us, we will be forever grateful for him starting the journey onto the kind of professional platform from the women's perspective.
And tonight, Gav, obviously there's a point for fans to almost send their tributes to Ron. Just let us know what's happening.
Yeah, I think Matteo, our colleagues, produced a very fitting video, which will play on the big screens here just before kick-off to Sunshine on Leith, of course. So it'll be a nice moment for the Hibs fans to get behind that, to watch that, and to sing Sunshine on Leith, because it's something that I think Ron mentioned it a lot of times in interviews. He always wanted to see Sunshine on Leith at full Easter Road and sang as loud as possible. So I think that'll be a fitting tribute for him later this evening. So hopefully we can all get behind that.
Yeah, absolutely. It will be an emotional affair, I'm sure, this evening as we take on Rangers, but hopefully it will be a fitting tribute to Ronald J. Gordon. Supporters, if they're not inside Easter Road, you can watch this one. It's available for pay-per-view for £12.99, and that does mean that you can hear from Joelle Murray once again. She's on commentary with Cliff Pike. Thank you everyone for watching, and let's hope for 3 points.